Hey, quick question for you. Are you a fan of pitting strangely adorable creatures against each other for your own amusement? And do you like watching other people suffer through hardships no matter how big or small? Well, first off, that's kind of messed up, not gonna lie, but you are in luck, because that's exactly what this is. Welcome to the third and final chapter of the hell that was my first Pokemon Nuzlocke. And yes, there were 2 other parts before this, so if I may make a suggestion, you should maybe go watch those first. That way, you'll have context for everything and you'll see more of this amazing content. Want even more? All you gotta do is press that big red button. No, not that one, that one. Press that and the bell next to it and all of your wildest dreams will come true. As long as those dreams involve watching Pokemon related content from some random guy on the internet. Anyway, you probably want to watch the video now, so I'll get going. Enjoy. At this point, there were 2 things standing between us and the Elite Four, the 8th gym, and a fair amount of story stuff. So that is what we did. We left Pseudopolis just as fast as we arrived, surfing to the east, only to encounter a Corsola as one of our route encounters. Disc. Oh my god, actually. Oh my god! That was a 15% chance. All we had to do was just get it to low health with paralysis and we got ourselves a pretty unlikely catch for a Nuzlocke. Just had to shimmy on over to the Pokeball pouch in our bag and we didn't have any. Well, no Corsola for me, I guess. Next stop, Seafloor Cavern. It was time to encounter the legendary Pokemon Kyogre, but not before fighting through a lot of Team Aqua Grunts and HM puzzles that are, frankly, just a time sink more than anything. Like, use strength to move a boulder, then rock smash to smash a rock, crazy how that works, in order to move the aforementioned boulder in another direction previously inaccessible due to the position of the rock that needed to be smashed. My brain hurts just explaining it. But after an extensively perplexing trek through the cavern, we finally came across the big blue fish boy. Will we catch him? Tune in next week to see the conclusion of the journey of Isyagil. Totally kidding. No, there is no catching Kyogre in this challenge. Don't you remember the rules? Well, if not, here's a refresher. Instead, we are faced with the battle against Archie, the leader of Aqua, and we mowed him down with Big Bertha alone. Some of these fights are really starting to feel like free XP, not gonna lie. Whatever the case, we returned to Pseudopolis only to find Groudon and Kyogre at odds with one another. And so, our attention was directed towards Sky Pillar, where a third Pokemon was said to reside. The only being that could break up the 2 tussling Goliaths, Rayquaza. Upon arrival at Sky Pillar, we were greeted with a man named Wallace, the former gym leader of Pseudopolis, explaining what to do before retreating back to the city. Really no help, honestly, but I guess he had more important things to attend to. Regardless, we made the perilous journey to the top of the tower, where we basically just went up to Rayquaza and we're all like, "Hey Rayquaza!"
Sup?
Yeah, so your buddies are actually fighting to the death right now, and if it keeps up, we might all die too.
Oh, Kai and Donnie? Oh, those guys are the worst, bro. You need me to, like, go break it up or something?
Please.
Alright, chill, BRB.
And, surprisingly enough, he went and did it. He came down from the sky like the godly serpent he is, and made those 2 settle their differences and leave without a trace. Thanks, Ray!
Don't call me that.
Okay, sorry. Just like that, all 3 of them were gone, and the world was back to normal. Good thing, too, because I gotta get that 8th badge, man. And that's exactly what we did. We entered the gym, solved the platforming puzzle inside, and waltzed straight up to the newly established leader, Juan. After some quick research and discussion, it was determined that Juan's Kingdra was quite possibly the biggest threat in his arsenal. You see, because Kingdra is water dragon type. Water is weak to a handful of things, yeah, but dragon is not weak to much. And in addition to that, is actually resistant to many of the things water is weak to. So basically, the textbook definition of a run killer, and just an overall uncool guy. But the only way was forward, so we entered the battle with our heads held high. We led with Pog, knowing full well that she was going to be extremely versatile in this fight. We took down Juan's Love Disc with ease and immediately switched in Big Bertha to avoid a one-shot from the Celio that had just been sent in. Bertha took it down, no questions asked. Next was a Whiscash, the perfect target for Pog. Within seconds, it was on to the next Pokemon. Kingdra. It relied on Double Team to raise its evasiveness, but it was no match for the tried and true Stun Spore Leech Seed method with Pog. Now, it was just a waiting game. We switched to Bertha in order to, once again, keep Pog from getting one-shot with any Ice-type move, and use anything we had to chip away at its health. In due time, Kingdra passed, leaving us with one final Pokemon, Crawdaunt. Thankfully, we had a secret weapon. We had planned so far in advance with our Pokemon that we were able to pull off the most unpredictable move in Pokemon history. We pulled Bertha out of the battle, only to switch into our greatest hero, D's Nuts. And what did he do? He endured a single hit from Crawdaunt, surviving just long enough to get a Toxic off before being absolutely obliterated by the giant crab. You fought valiantly, good sir. May you forever live on in our minds and souls. With that and a single Mach Punch from Pog, we had obtained the final gym badge. With this victory, we entered the Pokemon Center and gave D's Nuts a proper burial. Give D's Nuts a PC box for himself. He was very important. We're gonna call it GOAT. All that was left to do that stream were a few pieces of side work. So we trekked to Meteor Falls, where we spent way too long using repels in order to get a new addition to the team. A Pokemon that I had never personally used, but felt inclined to in this run. Bacon, the Bagon. Now, Bagon isn't the most helpful on its own, so we had to level him up a bit. What's the easiest way to do that, you might ask? Well, just make someone else do it for you while you run back and forth for a very long time, all while listening to some pretty intense remixed video game music. We also popped Tinkerbell in there just for fun and went all the way to the abandoned ship to get a Water Stone and the TM for Ice Beam. It was back to running back and forth. In just 1 hour, we were able to get both Tinkerbell and Bacon to reasonable levels via the daycare, pulling them back out to do some final leveling manually, and get them to their respective final evolutions, Ludicolo and Salamence. Our team was stacked, to say the least, both current party and PC backup wise. All that was left was the Elite Four, but first, Victory Road. To start off the next stream, we made our way to Evergrande City, home of the Pokemon League. We grinded Chop to be level 40 and taught our boys some moves. Giga Chad was graced with Earthquake, while we gifted Tinkerbell Surf, Toxic, Ice Beam, and Giga Drain, which we used our only PP max on in order to get it to 8 PP rather than the measly 5 that it started out with. It was finally time to enter Victory Road. Upon entry and a little bit of exploring, we encountered a Hariyama that we named Harry Mama by chat's request, sending it to the PC and never actually bringing it out for use. I just thought the name was funny. Now, our plan was to grind our team to a solid level 50 across the board before even attempting to progress further into the cave, where we would have to have a pretty scary battle with our rival Wally. But if we got our Pokemon to such a high level, we would have no problems with the fight. So we fought a couple wild mons before walking up a set of stairs to potentially get some new encounters that would grant us some more XP. More Hariyamas would be preferable, that or some Leyrons, but either way the grind is gonna help a whole lot. No! I made it all the way here and it's all thanks to you. Losing to you that time made me stronger, but I'm not going to lose anymore. Well, I guess we're doing this. It'll be fine, I'm sure. We're high enough level to take them on, and our team is pretty beefy. We'll be okay. He's gonna use Future Sight again. That's fine. I would say Turnip or Chad, depending on what moves Turnip has. I don't even know what moves Turnip has, honestly. We're just gonna Metal Claw this guy. Yeah, that's... okay, it's fine. He just keeps using Future Sight, which is not working super well for him. No! I just fucking lost Giga Chad. Well, I guess we kinda wasted Earthquake then, huh? Honestly, one of the worst things that could have happened. Our best Pokemon, the one that had been with us since Dewford, the sole survivor of the bloodbath that was the 7th gym, the greatest Pokemon to ever exist on this team. You fought valiantly, Giga Chad. May you live on in the most alpha afterlife there is. will miss you dearly. After the most excruciating loss of the run, it was time to find a replacement. We had Big Bertha, a fairly decent option, but we also had Dumbo, our Donphan from the Safari Zone. Have I ever used a Donphan before? No. Was this the perfect time to try new things regardless of whether they will work well or not? No. Were we still gonna go with it? Most definitely. And so, Dumbo was added to our roster. The only problem with Dumbo, all of its moves were pretty awful. Like, look at this. This is not Elite Four ready. So, through the use of TMs and HMs, we made his move pool look just a little better. Now, all there was to do was grind. And grind we did. For a while. We moved down into the spooky part of Victory Road where everything was pitch black. We did not have any Pokemon who knew Flash, and we kept it that way. No need, it was easy enough. A few trainer battles here and there that we had no idea were coming until after they had begun, but other than that, not too bad. Tubat learned Poison Fang along the way as well. We decided to replace Bite with it, so hopefully that wouldn't come back to haunt us. Spoiler alert, it didn't matter at all. Just gonna get that out there right off the bat rather than making you sit around for a while, waiting to see what kind of effect this decision had on the run. I just wanted Poison Fang. I don't know what to tell you. After a long journey full of dead ends, misdirection, returning to the Pokemon Center, party switches, and the loss of Big Bertha, we finally arrived on the other side of Victory Road, where the Pokemon League and Elite Four stood. We put Bertha away into our ever-growing Pokemon graveyard and headed back into the cave to do some more grinding, as we had a ways to go before we could even think about facing the Elite Four. Almost immediately after entering the cave, though, we came across a double battle completely by accident. The worst part? They each had a Slacking. The double worst part? Our dear boy Turnip got hit with the Brick Break Flamethrower combo, sending him straight to his untimely death. Two of the biggest losses of the run, both during the same stream. The run was falling into the gutter inch by inch. I honestly wasn't sure at this point whether it was still going to be the run or not. Our usable box was looking like a single crushed up Twinkie compared to the full box of pristine ho-hos that was our graveyard. It was not looking up, but we couldn't just give up. So, in a last-ditch effort, we added Harry Mama to the team to help with the bit of grinding we still had yet to do. And with that, we concluded the stream, hoping that the next one would be the last. And so, it began, the final stretch of the run. Whether we'd actually manage to pull this off was still up in the air, but we were gonna do our best. To start, our party went to Fall Arbor Town to visit the Move Tutor to teach Harry Mama some long-forgotten moves of hers, teaching her Vital Throw in replacement of Whirlwind. We then made for Mauville, specifically the daycare, after deciding to add Tentacool to our team. But Tentacool wasn't gonna do us any good. We needed Tentacruel. So, it was time for yet another session of running back and forth while having some banger music playing in the background. And that's what we did for almost half an hour. Finally, after an eighth of the stream had passed, we had our final addition to the team. Immediately following our recruiting of Harold, we taught him Surf, Sludge Bomb, and Blizzard, but couldn't quite decide what his fourth and final move should be, so we set that task to the side for a bit. In the meantime, using more TMs, Bacon learned Flamethrower, and Tubat learned both Steel Wing and Aerial Ace, but not before going to Lily Cove to delete Fly from her moveset, seeing as apparently it wasn't going to let us swap it out for Aerial Ace, because HM moves cannot be forgotten now. What a hassle this game is, I tell ya. I feel like I'm doing chores rather than playing a friendly children's game. What was that? I get a single pack of fruit snacks if I do my chores? And $1? I could buy like another pack of fruit snacks with that. I love chores. And what's even better than chores? Gambling! Or so Twitch chat claimed. But I'm a responsible adult who won't succumb to such pressures. I'd rather enjoy my fruit snacks than go beat up 4 dudes who stand in big rooms all day, waiting for hapless children to stumble upon them and duel them and their posse of creatures for sport. So that's what we did. We returned to the entrance of Victory Road and proceeded to grind one last time before entering the gauntlet that was the Elite Four. Pretty quickly, Harold grew to level 55, and right at that moment, we found his fourth move, Hydro Pump. He learned it by leveling up at just the right level, as we could not go past 55 due to that dastardly level cap rule. And so, Harold was taught Hydro Pump, and his final move pool was set in stone. We did risk it for the biscuit just a tiny bit by gaining a bit more XP to get him just on the threshold of 56. Scary stuff, I know. He couldn't possibly be crazy enough to do that with everyone, right? Wrong. First Harold, then Tinkerbell, followed by Tubat. Next was Dumbo, during which the true level of trust the viewers had in me was revealed. Overlevel, you won't. And now we just need to switch to Bacon. Please stop pushing your luck. I will. And finally, it was Bacon's turn. It took a hot minute, but after said spicy time was up, we flew to the other side of Victory Road in order to finally face the Elite Four. We made it. We were at the precipice, and everything we had done up to this point was leading to this moment. After some tinkering with held items, buying the entire stock of the Pokemart, and taking a quick bathroom break, it was time for the greatest test of our lives. It was time to end this. We've got Chop holding Lax Incense. We've got Tentacruel, Harold holding a Mystic Water. We have Crobat, Tubat holding a Citrus Berry because we didn't have anything else that would work for him. We have Tinkerbell, our Ludicolo, holding a Miracle Seed. And we have Bacon, our Salamence, holding Charcoal. And finally, Dumbo, our Donphan, holding a Quick Claw. Let's do this. First up was Sydney, a Dark-type trainer. We led with Chop, and with good reason, as his first Pokemon was Mightyena. Chop hit him with a Brick Break, and just like that, he was down. Next up was Shiftry. We quickly swapped to Bacon, who took them on out with a single Flamethrower. This was going a lot smoother than expected. Maybe because of the fact that we were several levels higher than his Pokemon, but don't worry, it isn't against the rules. I looked it up, see? It's fine. There better not be any comments about it or else I will lose it. Next was Absol. Play it safe, we switched to Dumbo, taking it out with an Earthquake followed by Strength. The fourth Pokemon out was Crawdaunt, who was promptly taken down with Giga Drain by Tinkerbell. And to finish it off, Bacon came in to take down the final Mon, Cacturn, with yet another Flamethrower. And with that, it was on to Phoebe, the Ghost-type trainer. For this fight, we actually took the Charcoal off of Bacon, replacing it with the Black Glasses, which would increase the damage done by Dark-type moves. She opened with the Dusclops, who got not one, but 2 Protects off in a row. That was no match for Bacon though, as he annihilated the opposition with a big ol' crunch. We tried to take out the following second Dusclops with another crunch, but he got an Ice Beam off on Bacon, freezing him solid, so we swapped in Tinkerbell, used Toxic, and healed up Bacon. Back in Bacon went, taking down the Dusclops with a crunch this time, I guess? Not sure why it worked that time, but no matter. The rest of the fight was a cakewalk. Our big dragon boy taking down the 2 Bannettes with massive crunches, and the Sableye with 2 back-to-back Dragon Claws. Next up, Glacia. Now, Glacia was honestly the one we had been worrying about from the start. We had gotten that Ninetales from way back when, you know, Kebabas, because we knew we needed something with fire to take down this upcoming icy mess. So we entered with a little bit more worry than before. It would please me to no end if I could go all out against you. Please don't kill me. It was Chop's game once again. A single Brick Break and the first Pokemon, a Celio, was down. We bulked up real fast for the Glalie and took it down with another Brick Break. Right after the Glalie, we healed Chop and took down yet another Celio with, you guessed it, Brick Break. But not before the big doofy seal used Hail, causing us consistent turn-based damage. Another Glalie was sent out, and Chop was taking quite a bit of damage, so we sent in Harold. A Hydro Pump and Surf later, and Glalie was out. All that remained was a level 53 Whaleren. And when I tell you it was all back and forth, I mean it. We used Sludge Bomb the entire time, but it kept hitting us with Body Slam, which paralyzed us one too many times. But after many minutes of trading blows and healing, we took down the Whaleren, leading us to the final Elite Four member, Drake. Dragon type, huh? Well, we had a few options, and the one we went with was leading with Tinkerbell. Shelgon was first, but it was gone as fast as it came out with a single Ice Beam from Tinkerbell. Next, Altaria. Harold came in and hit the most clutch Blizzard after the Altaria had increased its attack and speed twice with Dragon Dance. That was a 70% chance to hit there. Pretty lucky of us. Flygon came out using Earthquake, but that was no match for Tinkerbell's Ice Beam. One hit KO, and Kingdra was the next to fight. The scariest of all of Drake's Pokemon right here. And who did we send out? Bacon, of course. One Dragon Claw later, he gone. And lastly, a poser. Bacon is the only true Salamence. And Harold was there to defend Bacon's honor, swinging in and landing another Blizzard. Just go for it? Okay. We'll just go for it. Oh my god, it hit. Oh my god. We are getting so lucky with these Blizzards, dude. Is that a one-shot? Oh my fucking god, it's a one-shot. Oh my god. Yes, my son. All that stands in your way now is Wallace, the champion of this land. I believe in you, my boy. Make me proud. After a quick heal, it was time to enter the final fight. But before we began, Chad had me teach Chop the move Dig to have a better chance at taking out Wallace's Tentacruel. We had finally made it. The big finale, the greatest challenge of the entire game, stood before us. There was no turning back. With Tinkerbell at the ready, we entered the battle. Welcome, Isigil. That incident in Pseudopolis City, that was superb work putting an end to that crisis all by yourself. Oops, it wouldn't be fair to say that you alone ended the crisis. You overcame that difficult situation by working as one with your Pokemon. We trainers raise Pokemon by giving them items and by teaching them new techniques for battle. But we ourselves also learn many things from Pokemon. And this is where your achievements are put to the test against what others like you have achieved. Now, who can most eloquently dance with their Pokemon in Hoenn? Show me right here and now. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Alright. First out, Wailord. With Toxic and a Giga Drain, he fell from the residual poison. 1 out of 6 Pokemon down. Next, Tentacruel. We quickly swapped to Chop, using Dig after getting hit with Sludge Bomb. We then got extremely lucky as Tentacruel tried to hit us with Hydro Pump 5 times. That was all of his uses of that move. And with one more Dig, we had taken down the second Pokemon. Whiscash was the next one up. Both the Fish and Chop used Amnesia and Bulk Up respectively several times before the Whiscash hit Chop twice. We healed Chop and attempted a Cross Chop. It missed. After another hit from Surf, we tried the Cross Chop again, and this time we were lucky. It took down the Derpy Fish in 1 hit. Halfway there, Wallace's Ludicolo came out as jubilant as ever, and we put Harold out there in order to use Sludge Bomb. In only a couple of hits, Ludicolo joined the previous 3. Only 2 Pokemon to go. The first was Gyarados. All we could see was Timmy. There was a sensation deep within my heart that didn't want us to kill the Gyarados, the same one that had us on Team Timmy. But we knew what we had to do. Bacon came out staring down the giant serpent, and with only a few Dragon Claws and a single crunch, Timmy's imposter was gone. Great pain surged through us, but we had to finish this. All that was left was Milotic. So we did what any good Pokemon trainer would do. We sent in Chop for his final valiant act. He sacrificed himself for the greater good. And with that, we could switch to Tinkerbell with no turn loss. Immediately after entering the battle, Tinkerbell used Toxic, and it missed. Milotic then used Toxic, and it hit. But second time's the charm, as we used Toxic once again, and it hit. This was followed by an Ice Beam from Milotic, but Tinkerbell was fine. We used a full restore, then another Ice Beam from Milotic, followed by a Giga Drain from Tinkerbell. It was down to a sliver of health, and it was poisoned. That was the game. We stood up to celebrate, and that's the fucking game. Oh wait, no, he has a citrus berry. Fuck. It had a berry. It healed, survived the near-death experience, and kept fighting like never before. We got yet another Toxic off on it, and it retaliated with yet another Ice Beam. But this dance could only go on for so long. Eat my ass! Yes! 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 Woo! We're so fucking good at this game, dude! Yes! Bacon. Yeah, we defeated Champion Wallace, baby! Woo! Yes! Yes, sir! Holy shit. And that was the game. I, Issy Gill, was now the champion of the Hoenn region. Well, that was quite the roller coaster ride. Thank you so much for watching though. I know it took a while, but I hope it was worth the wait. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video and subscribe. It helps out a whole lot. All of this was recorded live on my Twitch channel, so if you're into the whole live streaming thing, definitely go check it out. Links in the description. I'm probably doing some dumb challenge run or something, so go follow and I hope to see you in chat sometime. I'm gonna get going now, and as always, have a good one, stay safe, and I'll see you around. So you've seen 153 Pokemon and you've caught 58 Pokemon. Are you using any rods? There are many Pokemon in the sea. Was that like a dig? Like, f you, Birch.